Alright guys, so let's work on some passes from half guard, okay? So first of all, we're going to start with the half guard, like pinning the guy on the ground. Some really basic passes. Alright guys, so look, to begin with, I always want to be half guard. I want to make sure I always have the underhook to the opposite side where my opponent, where I am, okay? So I always want to have the underhook on the opposite side where I am. So if on the case I'm on the left side here on the half guard, I want to make sure I always have the underhook on the opposite side. I can never let him underhook me. Vai, esgrima meu braço. If he has the underhook on me, I don't want to be on top of him anymore, guys. I have to push it up, create space, and underhook back. I have to have this control. Another thing, I always try to keep my hip bone on the ground. Okay? If I'm up on my knees, what is going to happen? Hip replace guard. Hip guard. Always, look, it's too easy for him to replace guard. Okay? So what I want to do is always keep my hips low. So now it's gonna be harder for him to replace the guard. Yeah? There's less space for him. Always I have the underhook. So if he gets the underhook, esgrima o braço. Boom, oh, I take my weight out of him, push him out, get the underhook back, put my hip on the ground. Alright guys, so for instance, something that I like to do, minimum, is keep the hip on the ground, but truly what I like to do always is sit. Look what I do. When I'm here, I'm always pinch my hip, okay, my hip bone, so now he can't get under me. In like a deep half guard or this kind of stuff, okay, he can't trap my other leg. So I'm always, you gotta understand that if I get to have this kind of half guard, the only base I have is my hip. So if my hip is attached to him, he's gonna be able to throw me over, okay? To roll me. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is always here off. Hip away, head down. One more detail. So one detail, have the underhook. Second detail, break your hips. Third detail, as far as I grab the gi in the gi, the better. Shoulder pressure now, guys. If I can now, look to the tail. I'm not even sitting on my butt. I'm always driving and keep the whole pressure on top of his head. So if I sit here, there's no pressure there on the neck. Now look what I do. I reach as deep as I can and I always drive, okay, my weight on top of his neck. Okay, so I'm sideways, but at the same time driving all my weight to the head. Okay? So, one more time. Reach here, he reaches the underhook. He has the underhook, I come up, get my underhook back. Hip on the ground. I sit sideways, lift my hip so I can pressure, put all the pressure on top of his head. Alright guys, really basic. Another detail that I like to do a lot is opening the gi. So I open the gi and I reach the gi for as deep as I can with my hand. Now I keep that pressure. It's just perfect. Okay? From here, I'm going to start to work on my pass.